Hi teacher, I am Ata. I am going to talk about my 100 sentences. Now I am starting. Processing. He wants to get suggestion and options from his environment in order to process his new project. Oral. In oral communication, question can be asked, the answers given can be checked, and issues that aren't understood can be clarified. Meet. When he went for an interview and at the company, he applied for a scholarship. He met businessmen working in his field of interest. Job. Apart from the jobs he did in his profession, he also spent his free time to get a computer certificate. Impact. The last conference held in the field of defense industry impacted people very much, so they want to learn new things in this field. Fuel. In the unmanned aerial vehicles that Turkey has built in recent years, engineers have started to produce solutions for fuel savings. Error detector. While writing PLC software, the error detector in the program shows us minor software errors. Device. In the DC circuits analysis course, we learned the use and details of devices such as multimeters and oscilloscopes. Construction. She had imagination in the basic construction of her project, so she attracts attention in the presentation she introduced. Chemically. Inceptions have increased frequently and chemically facilities in Turkey recently. Beautiful. He closed the leader of the competition by choosing the most beautiful project among them within the scope of the construction machine robot made by TÜBİTAK. Address. All students were required to pay attention to announcements on the university's new web address. Urea. The urea and water in DEF will freeze at the same rate when mixed. This is beneficial for the user because the DEF solution isn't diluted or over-concentrated when the liquid is dissolved. Test. At the country level, engineers start to work on rocket firing tests that will last up to 5 years. Specifically, during the meeting, it was said that in the face of the economic difficulties in the country, specifically the exports should increase and the production in the country should be more. Resistance. In circuit elements, generator, switch, resistance, conductor, wire are the materials that should be. Product. In an industrial facility, the product starts mass production with very little margin of error, and the number of orders increased. Order. He won extra discount coupons thanks to the orders he placed in online shopping. Mode. In an electronic circuit system, temperature sensor switch to active mode when the environment reaches high temperature. just. If we want to achieve the result we want so as soon as we start a business, we only need to just think solution oriented and then start. Improve. Every entrepreneur should improve himself in business life, be with people with different opinions, and learn their ideas fully. It might not give fully accurate results when measuring with a multimeter, but it has a small margin of error. Essential. The essential tools and equipment of the technician should be present at the factory because in case of consent, she should intervene immediately. Dew. Dew is more common in the morning of cloudless nights as heat loss in high. Content. Some course contents of electrical and electronic engineering and control and automation engineering are the same. Circlet. In the new defense industry sector, all companies have circled this field. So there has been a lot of competition in this field in recent years. Besides, in addition to for control systems, the newly product vehicles besides have a line tracking system feature. Adjustable. We can adjustable to voltage as we want with the adjustable resistors in the electronic circuits. Useful. Today, environmentally friendly and useful projects are developed by recycling materials such as batteries, plastic, and paper. Thank in advance. He thanked in advance the course students and engineering candidates who came to the Space and Aviation Fair in advance. Spectrally, the project includes dual LEDs, dual wavelength emitters, and spectrally matched photo detectors. Resolver. While applying for the new job posting, he highlighted his ability to be a problem resolver in electrical circuits in his work area. Promotion. Ata, who studied control and automation engineering, was promoted to the same company where he started his business life as an internship and became the important engineer of that company. Ordering policy. With the order policies on the website, customers have the right to exchange a product and the right to refund. Modular. In computer science, modular programming or unit programming and an approach to designing software using models that can operate independently of other elements. Know-how. Since the electrician of the netboards know how the procedure in the field in which he was experienced, even difficult labors were easy for him. Improvement. Individuals who grew up in master-apprentice relationship in the workplace are more likely to be open to improvements than the person who reads that part of the job. Function. The function of vending machines, which we encounter in schools, bus stops, shopping centers, and in my places daily, is quite functional for the age. Evaluation. Companies that want to be developed and grow themselves increase their changes when they evaluation their economic income and expenses well. Diagnostic. An engineer who loves and cares about his job quickly diagnosed the problem in the facility and thus attracted attention. Continuity mode. Thanks to the machines working in the continuity mode in the factories, thousands of productions can be made during day. Circuit. In an electronic circuit system, humidity sensors switch to active mode when there is wetness in the environment. Best. We should always continue in the best way in our business life, at school, in human relationship. Advertisement. Home system robot devices were advertisements on gained screens and attracted attention because their features made human life easier. Value. When measuring voltage, current, and resistance dimensions in circuits, the values in the measuring instruments we use have very little margin of error. Thermistor. The value of the thermistor, which is an electronic circuit element in an environment with changing heat levels, will change as the temperature changes. Square wave. Square waves cause noise and errors because they contain many harmonic components. Research. Because some operating systems are open research, they are less likely to infect computers. Propriety. The propriety of the circuit analyzing course aims to make students construct electronic circuits and to make comments about the circuits. Output. The analog output mode gives variable voltage and current. For example, the speed of a motor can be controlled. Moisture. Arduino soil moisture sensor can adjust the sensitivity thanks to the trim pot on the board. Lake. Unmanned aerial vehicles flying around the Beyşehir Lake in Konya will perform. Inline. In the demonstrations of October 29, the jets demonstrated inline in the sky and made low flights. Future. The rapid rise of drones also fuels the future of other larger drones. Evaporator. Thanks to the evaporator device in the fans, it helps to raise the room temperature. Difference. The difference of the automation department from other engineering is that it covers departments such as electronics, Mechatronics and machinery. Conventional current. Conventional currents are flowing liquids that moves as there is a temperature or density difference within the material. Circulation. The unit RPM is used to measure the circulation speed per minute. It expresses the rotational speed and frequency of the physical systems that rotate. Blink. After 12 o'clock, the yellow lights of the traffic lights blink. This sign informs you to pass carefully. Advice. The student who was the candidate for the best software engineering in the country gave advice to those younger than him in his files. Variable. The analog output module gives variable voltage and current. For example, the brightness of a LED can be controlled. Thermocouple. Thermocouple consists of two different conductive materials. If the two ends of these materials are connected and heated, voltage is obtained at the other ends. Stage. The most important stage of the emerge of a project is to produce that idea after imagination. Respond. The machines in the factory have a communication with the computers. The machine responds to the message coming from the computer and runs it. Proportional. The center of gravity of the product aircraft must be proportional on the fuselage. Otherwise, the aerodynamic of the aircraft will deteriorate. Oven. A marble processed in a CNC machine is then thrown into a high-temperature oven to obtain a brighter surface. Monitoring. New hires are carefully monitored at our company. When they make a mistake, they may need help correcting it. Large scale. Large scale maps show less detail, so the margin of error is low. In any event, if the machines in the facility aren't intervened in any event, they will be damaged because the mass production is stopped. Gas. Harmful gases from car fumes are a great danger to the ozone layer. Exacting. He has always been very exciting in his projects, so taking into account the importance he gives to his work, it has a great impact on his own development. Different. More efficiency can be achieved when activities in the different engineering files combine and work together. Converting. While the electricity coming from the streets to the house is coming to the sockets, voltage converting is done so that there is less voltage at the sockets. Classified. At the meeting, engineers were classified within the company according to their degrees, and they were asked to produce new ideas among themselves. Boards. In high school, star and delta connection applications of asynchronous motors were made in electrical boards. Aerospace. All continues have started to make unmanned aerial vehicles in the aerospace sector. Variety. Due to the variety in the resistors, we can adjust the unwanted excess voltage in the circuits. Thermopiles measure lasers indirectly by measuring how much the thermal disk heated up from the incident laser power. Stager. 10 minutes after the plane took off, it staggered under the influence of the wind and landed hard on the ground. Response. The extensive price increase of electronic circuits elements received an extreme response from the students. Proposal. With the proposal to be held in the construction files, the lowest bids from the companies will win. Over. For over 10 years, computers components have developed considerably, so it has become one of the most necessary technological devices of our time. More than 100 years. For more than 100 years, special spacecrafts have been tried to reach the moon. In the 1969, Neil Armstrong was the first person to set foot on the moon. Tesla's latest electric vehicle auto control modes, accident prevention braking system attracted attention. In order to, there wasn't enough budget to develop the rocket. Sponsorship agreements were requested from different companies. Gathering. The planes exhibited in the aviation museum start to be gathered from the stands at the end of the day. Examine. Domestic and national aircraft exhibited at the fair were examined and evaluated standing up by gustus of different nationalities directly. Because of the directly high voltage in the company's facility, the machines inside also malfunctional. Coolant. Boron oil must be applied to the drills in the cutting tips of CNC machines as a coolant. Otherwise, the tip will break due to overheating of the drill. Clearly, the statute of the established club should be written clearly, as it includes the purpose of the club and its disciplinary content. Both internal effect resistors, both NTC and PTC resistors, have an inversely proportional working principle. Effects. The newly hired software engineer started to working harder and working overtime to affect himself. Various. A competition was held for high school students in various concepts such as line following robots and balance robots. Team. Processors products in the last 10 years have started to become thinner. Standing. Domestic and national missiles exhibited at the fair were examined and evaluated standing up by goods of different nationalities. Right solution. In the newly established vehicle factory, the right solution oriented manufacturing was aimed at, thus making a great contribution to the country's economy. Protection. The defense industry has started to produce projects such as unmanned aerial vehicles with the aim of protection the country from external attacks. All. Every company has its own disciplinary rules, and when it goes beyond this, problems occur in behalf of the company. Motion. Electric motors are required to convert electrical energy into motion energy. It is used in tools such as washing machines, water pumps, and drills. Leader. It is also important for the company that the machinery engineer employee is a leader and that the works in the facility go smoothly and regularly.